But just a couple of things. The Moncton Opportunity Meeting, Darla Brown's going to be there, and Ken Reed for the Opportunity Meeting. Well, they're doing the whole tour right now. So they're in Grand Prairie tomorrow night or Thursday night. I can't remember which. So we do have team members attending there. So that's going to be fun. And then on Monday evening, we're having one in Moncton, and that takes place at 7 o'clock. I should know this since I'm hosting it. 7 o'clock at St. James Gate in Dieppe. So if you've got Moncton people, I'm going to give you some, I've got some little tips here on my phone to share with you on inviting people out to events that have really been working for me this week. And then also on Tuesday night, we're doing the same thing 24 hours later on Tuesday night in St. John. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And those people who show up to those meetings, typically they end up signing up with you. People don't go out to events for no reason. And I have to tell you, like, I went to a very informal sort of gathering to hear about the products the first time I went to a Plexus meeting, and it wasn't at all business oriented. It was just about the products. The second time that I went was with Julie in Fredericton, and I learned so much about the company just based on that opportunity meeting. And that was when I decided I wanted to go with the business, was in those moments in that meeting. So when they say that, business leaders or, businesses are born at these events, that's what they're talking about. It is so true. It's very inspiring, and it's more than just one person going on about it. There's several people. There's health testimonials and business testimonials that are riveting, and the person is sitting right in front of you telling you this story. It's not like internet robot. It's awesome. So, and I'm not sure if you guys have registered for any of those events, but even if you can't get to one, register anyway. It's in your email. I'm not sure, but each time we've had to register for something, we've usually had some sort of perk or incentive back. So you might get a membership code out of it, or maybe there's going to be a gift, or maybe it'll just be a discount for your next customer. Or maybe there's nothing. So I don't know anything. Okay. I don't know any more than you do, but I've never seen us register for something where there hasn't been something. So it's just something to sort of put in your back pocket. So those two events are coming right up in Eastern Canada. And there'll be lots more too that'll be coming down the tubes, but just immediately in our sort of immediate future, I guess, those things are coming. So I want to share with you, if you want to grab a pen and paper, and maybe, Julie, I noticed you just jumped on. I don't know how settled you feel. Could you type something in the chat for me? Or I can copy and paste it in the chat. You don't have to do it. No, don't. That's silly. Yeah. I'm going to read you a message that I've been sending out to people, and I've actually been doing it by audio as well. So instead of just, I don't copy and paste messages ever, to be quite honest with you, because there's always something I want to change. There's always something personal I want to say. But in terms of getting people out to these meetings, this is what I have found has worked the best for me. And I sent this message to 55 people today, and all one by one. I didn't copy and paste and mass message. I just personally don't do that. So here's my message. Hey, just reaching out to you to see what you were up to this coming Monday, June 25th. So this was for the monthly meeting. If you find yourself with some time, I'd love for your support. My team and I are hosting an informational meeting there. It's very informal, and it's a lot of fun because our community is absolutely amazing. There's no pressure to buy anything. As a matter of fact, nothing will be for sale at this event. But I'd love for you to come out and just have a listen about what I'm so passionate about. And if you have time, maybe we can grab a drink or a bite afterward and hang out and catch up. Can I count on your support? I didn't have any crickets. My messenger is blowing up of the people who've actually seen it so far. And like I said, I sent a lot of them as audios. So, and if I made a mistake in the audio, I didn't erase it and start again. I just sent it very authentically. You could also type that out and send it. And I think it's just the whole idea that you're being vulnerable and you're asking them for the support, that it's great to have people in the seats and you just really like to share with them what your passion is. So that's just an idea for you, if you would like to do that. And instead of putting it in the chat where it's going to disappear after for you, or maybe Julie, did you already? Yes, you did.
I tried. It's not great.
I'll copy and paste. I'm going to put this recording up on the team page and then I'll just put it in the comments. Okay, guys? And I'll do it after this training so that you can get it right away. But do trust me when I say that when people come out to events to support you, you know, they always glean something that they didn't realize from your posts, from your conversations, from your follow-ups, from emails you might be sending them. It really is amazing to catch the fever when you're at an event like this. And these events are not, they're very professional. They're very well done. Those of you who've been to them already know this. If you were at any part of the launch, or if you've ever been to an opportunity meeting that was corporate. Go ahead, Julie, you do want to say something?
Yep, I just wanted to add too, if you're not going to be able to attend one of these meetings because of distance, then your message is slightly different. Hey, just reaching out to see what you're doing this Monday. If you find yourself with some time, my team, blah, 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 blah. It's very informal, all that good stuff. My friend Tanya, like in Moncton, or my friend Tammy in St. John is going to be there, and she would love to look out for you and say hi and blah, blah. It'd be a really great chance for you to blah, blah. So even though you can't physically be there, you can still use this type of messaging. And as one Plexus, we look out for each other's people. So don't think, oh, well, this doesn't apply to me just because it's an event that's geographically too far for me to attend.
Yeah. And the other thing too, I had a conversation with somebody today about the white lines in the virtual office. White lines, I don't know if they're white anymore actually, but it just means somebody who's not really active on your team. I don't mean the business. I mean, they're not ordering. Okay. So if you have somebody like that, and you're thinking, you know, you would like to, you're thinking, oh, I wish they weren't in my virtual office. You know what? I want you to think about, sort of turn that around a little bit, and think of it this way. I think maybe somebody needs to be muted. Hang tight.
Oh,
there we go. There we go. So I want you to think about this way. We talk all the time about gateways, and we talk about using new products, promotions, a flash sale that you create yourself for your own business. We talk about those all the time. So those promos, those flash sales, those discounts, those new products, those are ones you want to share with your white lines as well. So your white lines, again, those are people who just aren't ordering anymore, but they're in your virtual office. So you really want to make sure, like, don't discount those people. Invite those guys out to the events too. Send them a message. Ask them if you can have their address, even though you can get it in your virtual office. Ask them for their address so that you can send them a Joyome sample, or a pink drink sample, or a lean sample when they're out soon. Okay. Send them the information. Ask them if they've checked their emails. Send them a graphic. Send them that information. I've had so many people re-engage, and they're not white lines anymore, and now they are active, and they are bringing me those Plexus pay points because they are engaged due to these new products. Like the Joyome has been big for that. And I expect that the lean will too, once we can, we have more stories circulating and more people are able to speak on the products other than just to the taste. So I would invite you, and we've posted about this quite a few times, but I would suggest that you look down through your white lines on your team, or your inactive ambassadors, those who are not taking product, they're not ordering, they're not working the business, and re-engage with them. It's such a great gateway. It's such a great way to open the conversation up. And, you know, if you're feeling like, oh, I'm following up and I'm getting crickets, well, this is another reason, right? It's like a gateway is a reason. It's just a way to get back into that conversation. Okay. And this is still housekeeping. One more housekeeping item would be something, and if anybody else wants to chime in about this, that would be great. We noticed that on our team and across all of Freedom Revolution, everybody's really excited. Everybody's really passionate. There's lots of great posts on social media. And I know that there's lots of great conversations happening in your grocery stores and on the phone and at the park and wherever else it is that we're out sharing our love of Plexus. But one thing I would have you think about is, if you're going to save somebody else's post and copy it and paste it, don't do it the same day or even the same week. Wait a while. Wait a couple of weeks. Change the graphic, and for goodness sakes, change the words. When someone copies and pastes so literally that it's not even the name of their husband in the post, or it's not, like we've seen this happen quite a bit over the last little while, especially I find since convention. And I think this because there's so much hype, right? Everybody's really excited. And there are some great posts, and you're probably thinking, wow, I wish I'd thought of that wording. Well, definitely use it, but make sure you've proofread it, make sure it's applicable to you, make sure you change the graphic. It just speaks to, I guess, our integrity, and that we're all coming from our own corner in our own businesses. I think that's really important. So we do preach on this fairly often, but obviously it's not for naught. So do make sure that you're doing that. Okay. Awesome. Anybody want to add anything to that? Did I miss anything? Anybody want to say anything? All right. Okay. So we have 15 minutes left to talk about how to talk about Plexus with your network, with your friends, with your family. And more important than what to say is what you're saying to yourself. So, and I have this conversation with people all the time, and I have it with myself. Okay. So fear is the biggest thing that stops people from doing the things that they want to do. It doesn't matter if it's network marketing. It doesn't matter if it's bungee jumping. It doesn't matter if it's trying that new recipe sometimes for people, if they're having an important dinner with their most skeptical family member coming over for dinner. Fear will stop us from stepping outside our comfort zone every time. And we are our own worst enemies by saying things inside our heads that are going to keep us in fear, where it's safe and comfortable, instead of stepping outside of it. And what we need all to do, and me included, okay, because I'm not immune to what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about this like I've overcome it or like I'm perfect at it. But what I've learned to do is this. I do what's on this IPA sheet every single day. I'm going to get it for you. So this IPA sheet at the top, it has what's really going to make you money like immediately. Okay. So this is where you're reaching out to people, you're following up with customers and team members, and with prospects who've not yet joined your opportunity or the products. Okay. This half is all about your health, your mental health, your physical health, and checking out your back office and doing some training. That's what this bottom piece is. Now you'll notice that yesterday, I checked off my water. I checked off my build my brand. I did not build myself for 1 minute yesterday. I didn't take the time to do it. But what I can tell you right now is it's very rare on my sheet that that's not checked off. I need that. I need to build myself up. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay. And this list of resources is going to be in the comment section of this training. So don't even worry about writing it all down. There are books, wonderful personal development books. And if you're thinking, oh, I don't have time for that, I just need to reach out to people. You know what? If you're stopping yourself from reaching out to people, or if you feel stalled or scared, or you can't press enter, or you can't make the phone call, or I'm going to do my laundry instead, or I'm going to watch this show instead, or, oh, my kid needs me instead. Well, sometimes your kid does need you instead, or I'm going to read this other book instead. If you're stopping yourself from prospecting or following up because of what's going on inside your head, then you need personal development. And guess what? I know that's every single person on this call. I know it. I would just be so surprised if I was the only person on this call not like that. So, or like that, sorry. So there are so many personal development types of activities that you can do. I mentioned reading a book. Now, finding a speaker with whom you resonate. That could be a variety of different types of speakers. It doesn't have to be a network marketing professional. It might be, though. I follow Jill Renfro, as many of you know. She's only 30 years old. She's Jill Hendry Renfro on Facebook. She's Jill Renfro on YouTube. She just put out another video yesterday. I watched it, and the whole time, by the time I'm done, I'm speaking like a Texan, and I believe everything she says to me. That little bit of personal development every single day, or as often as you can get it into you, is what you need. It's what you need to combat what's going on between your ears, because every single one of us can do this. Every single one. Not me, because I'm this or that. Whether I'm a teacher or not doesn't matter. I spoke to somebody today and I told them, I said, I'm not the most confident person in the world. I say really negative things to myself sometimes, and then I have to make sure that I check it out and I flip my switch. So I've learned where my switch is, and I've learned to flip it. But guys, it has taken me a really, really long time, and I still go there. Okay. So finding that person that you can relate to, that speaks to you, that's what's really important. And again, I'm going to put in the comment section of this training, like after it's been posted, I'm going to put some of those names. I want you to check those out. And I do post those regularly on our team page as well. If you subscribe to the person who really speaks to you on YouTube, you're going to get a notification every time they put up a new video. And then you can add that to your favorites, and you can go in and just listen to those. When I was driving to up to Cambridge to White Point, is that what it's called? Tammy? Is that where we were?
White's Cove.
White's Cove, something like that. I knew there was white in there. When I was driving up there on Friday night, I listened to the end of, I've been reading or listening to The 4-Year Career by Richard Brooke Bliss. And there's a lot of professional development or personal development, pardon me, in that book, but it is geared to network marketing as a business. So I've listened to that book now more than once, more than twice. And it really speaks to me. I love the way that it's the simplicity of it. And I need to just rejig my brain sometimes and hear it. But when I tell you that I do that almost every day, I'm not kidding. And I don't read because I fall asleep. So what I do is I listen to audiobooks while I'm moving or while I'm driving or whatever. Right now I'm filing in my classroom, so I listen to that stuff as I'm filing. When I'm out and about with my kids, I'm focused on my kids and all of those things. But like if we're in transit in the car and they're watching a show, I listen to my book. And I just have made it a priority. So even if you can just take, like most of these videos are between 10 and 15 minutes, okay, that I'm talking about on YouTube, and some are shorter. Take the time to listen to them and follow these people on social media. That's the other thing. And you're going to get all their content. And it is really going to pour into you and allow you to use the words that I'm going to give you here and the ones that I gave you earlier on how to reach out to people about inviting them to things like opportunity meetings, okay? But if you really want to talk your way into success in your business, the idea is that you need to talk to as many people as possible about it. So that's why this has to happen first. And then the talking will become easier. Once you talk to 3 people, it's easy to talk to 6 more. It's easy to talk to 12 more. Trust me on this. If it is a habit that you form, you will be able to keep doing it. I love this quote. If the thought of talking to thousands of people makes you sick, then maybe you should give your list to somebody else. Because really and truly, this is about numbers, and you do need to talk to a lot of people. So I mentioned that I talked to 55 people today. Well, I didn't talk to 55 people, but I sent 55 people an invitation separately, individually, personally. And I don't always send 55 messages in a day. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5. but it usually is a minimum of 3. And when we start this, honestly, when we start sending out messages, it's okay if you suck a little bit. Don't worry about it. You show your excitement. Just remember, you don't have to sell the farm. I'm going to give you some more guidance here. You want to connect authentically and emotionally to whom you're talking. So you need to know your prospect. You need to know who you're talking to when you're reaching out. So, if you're talking to a baseball friend and that's your connection to them, then you're going to relate to them through that connection. Share with them your excitement. And like I said, don't sell the farm. So when you reach out to somebody, you might say, hey, Jerry, listen, did you catch the game last night? It was a pretty awesome game, wasn't it? I was really excited about the outcomes, about time, whatever. Listen, I really also reached out to you because I wanted to talk to you about this great gig that I've got going on. And I just wondered, is there a chance for us to talk about this? Would you have 10 or 15 minutes in the next couple of days where we could talk about this? Notice I didn't even say Plexus yet. Now, Jerry's probably going to come back and ask me what it is, at which point I can say, it's this health and wellness gig that I'm doing, and I'm completely in love with it. I really want to share it with you. And if it's not a good fit for you, I understand. These are words you've probably heard me say before. That's because they work. So when you're reaching out to somebody, you tell them a little bit, you show them how excited you are, you have that emotional piece where you're relating to them. You might want to compliment them. That's another big part of this. And then, you know what? You ask for the appointment. And by asking for the appointment, you're asking a question, right? Questions normally get answered. And you're letting them know that it's okay if it's not for them before they ever feel like they've been trapped or, sucked into something. Okay. Make your conversation as authentic as possible. So don't be on the hunt. Don't be on I've got to get my next this or my next that. Make this about relationship building. Make this about conversations. Don't make it about who am I going to get today? Because if you have that mentality and if you go about this that way, your potential is going to see right through that. And they will. Right? It's just like if you're in a grumpy mood and you can't posture yourself positively, wait till 8 hours later and do it then. Same thing. People can read right through that, and they're not going to be as inclined to want to join you. Okay. You want to adopt an intention of, I have something to share and I'm looking for people who want what I have to offer. That's the intentionality. That's the piece that you really have to be thinking about. Don't be attached to the outcome. So a few times this week, I've had people send me messages saying, oh, so-and-so said that they were going to sign up on Wednesday or whatever, last Wednesday or Friday or whatever it was. And they didn't. And I said, who else are you talking to? They're not talking to anybody else. They were putting all their eggs in one basket, and they got really emotionally attached, and it made them say things to themselves about the business and about their success instead of moving on. So it's really important that you keep having these conversations and keep having people, we call it in your funnel, so that you're constantly able to follow up with people, because the follow-up is where you're going to end up signing people up. Rarely will somebody join you the very first time you have a conversation with them. It does happen, but it's not very often. How many of you guys have had conversations with people, more than 5 conversations with people before they actually would commit? Yeah, and some people don't have their video on, but yeah, that's right. So you want to make sure that you don't ever discount anybody. Don't ever discount anybody. Everybody's, until they've said to you, leave me alone, that the invitation's still there to follow up. Okay. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You may have heard me say that before. So even if you did get overexcited and say a little bit too much, or maybe you've thought, oh, I should have waited and said that. Oh, I should have. If it's the right person, they're going to get you and they're going to get your passion. And that's what's important. So if you're being authentic and you're doing all of these things where you're building relationships, if you do, over spew, which can happen, that's okay. Don't worry about that, because again, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Okay. I think I've used this analogy before, and I was saying, I think Barb's on the call with us. When I met with Barb at Tim Hortons in the spring of 2016, I threw up all over her Plexus. Like, I said way too much. I was gushy. I don't know if I let her talk. And she still joined me. She's here. 2 years. She's here. So I want you to think about that. So as we're giving you instructions or giving you guiding principles, know that if you step outside of them a little bit, as long as your intentions are right, this is so humanistic. As long as your intentions are right, people are going to get you, and that's okay. I had somebody send me a message. I'm going to see if I can tonight, and it was in response to my invitation. And she said, oh, there she is. Oh shoot, my phone just died. Okay. So she said, she didn't know she'd be able to make it on Monday because her child has soccer at that same time. But she said, but I will do my best to be there. And people will often say that, right? So I said, great. I said, thank you very much for considering coming, Lindsay. I hope that, I get to see you on Monday. And she came back with, I definitely will give it my best shot. She goes, you go, girl, you get them. Now, this is somebody who's just been watching me and somebody whom I've talked to quite a few times about Plexus. But when she said, you go, girl, to me, and she's not on our team, like, I was like, I said to her, you have no idea how much I appreciate your encouragement. And her response back was, I've got lots more to give. She's not on our team, right? Isn't that awesome? And I know that's because I've taken my time with her. I have nurtured the relationship. I have followed up with authenticity, with excitement for her. I have always reached out to her about other things. That's really how you reach out to people about Plexus. There is no 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There is no magic formula. There's no script. You really have to be intentional about, like, where are you coming from? Are you doing this from a place where you really want to help people? Are you doing this from a place where you just want to go out and hunt? How are you posturing yourself to people? I'm really excited about this thing that I'm doing, and I really need to talk to you about it. Do you have 10 or 15 minutes? And it may not be a good fit for you, and that's totally cool. That's literally what I say to people, literally. And it can even be like, I've done this face-to-face before. You can do it. I promise you can. Get ready in between your ears, and then send the message or make the phone call or talk to the person in line at the cash. But you can do it. When we talk about following up, we don't want to feel like we're pulling people either, right? So for example, there's a girl who I have followed up with, I don't even know how many times now. But I asked her to come to this meeting, and she said, oh, sorry, I have plans that night. And I said, no worries. Have a great evening. That's all I said to her. I'm not going to try to convince her. I'm not going to try to pull her. I'm not going to say, but you don't know what you're missing out on, and this is going to be the best thing ever, and you might get something free, and you might, I'm not, because her time's not now. And that's it. And that's okay. I'm not emotionally attached to that. I can't be, because I got other people to talk to. I don't have time. I got to move it out of the way. Okay. And that's really what I want you guys to think about. Really listen when people are talking to you. When people are answering your questions, or when they are just telling you stuff about themselves, really listen, make notes. Remember that Sally's grandma, was coming to visit, and that's something that you can tell. How was your visit with your grandma, Sally? Like, there's just so many different ways to keep the relationship piece going. So really listen, take note, and be present in the conversation. Again, if you're hunting, you're not going to be doing that. If you're hunting, you're just going to be thinking, I'm hunting, I'm hunting, I'm hunting, score, score, score. And that's really not what this is about. And that's why sometimes when people come into network marketing from, corporate businesses or retail business, sort of brick and mortar, sometimes they're like, well, I can sell ice to an Eskimo. And I'm thinking, but this is really not that at all. This is so different from that. We're not selling widgets. We're selling people health and happiness. And there's a big difference. Okay. So I would just have you think about that. We talked about don't count your chickens. So if you've got somebody saying, well, I'm going to sign up on Friday and this person's going to sign up on, they haven't signed up till they've signed up. Don't be emotionally attached to that and be depending on that as your, I'm going to go silver this month. Really, really think about the bigger picture. Let's see, what else did I want to say? No, I think that's everything I said. Okay, so when you're having a conversation with somebody, if you get to the second stage where you made the invitation and that person has decided that they'd like to jump on the phone with you, I would like to open it up to the panel now and ask you, if you're new and you're not really, even if you're not new, if you're not really sure what to say when you get on the phone with that person, what do you do? What do you do if you're not sure what to say? You've made the appointment. You've got an appointment tomorrow at 2:15 with Sally.
Maybe invite them to a 3-way call with your sponsor, your upline.
You sure can. What if they're intimidated by that and they don't want to do that? How can you learn? Who do you go to?
I was just going to say, I'd be messaging you before I had the call.
Yeah, go to your sponsor. And if they're new, go together to their sponsor and have some training. And they will make time for you to do that. And there are people on this call who will help you do that. Because ultimately, you just need this to work. You know why you want to talk to them. You know what it is that what you need to say to them. But it's having this going on up here. So you really need to get that personal development training from your sponsor. You need your sponsor to pour into you. Yes, they're going to give you some tools and tricks. And yes, you can write them down because you're going to be on the phone. But you need to go to that sponsor or that person, whether it's a sideline or whether it's somebody on this call, doesn't matter who it is, whoever speaks to you in terms of somebody whom you're comfortable with and that sort of thing, and you admire their work, or that they'll shoot you straight, whatever it happens to be. That's all super important. Okay. But that really is the deal. Now you might be thinking, I don't want to get on the phone with anybody. I'm not at the phone stage. What is she talking about? So what I would recommend is, when you're asking them for the invitation, instead of saying, do you have time to talk to me about this? What could you do instead? To keep the messenger message going, what do we have in our virtual office that we can offer to everybody? What do we have? Videos, and also the documents in our shareables, right? And if there's not the kind of doc or video that you want in your shareables, go to YouTube. Do your job, find the right tools, or ask your sponsor for a good tool, but ask them. And when you ask them, if you can send them something, don't just blindly send anybody anything. I hate that. I don't know about you. I don't like being added to groups, and I don't like it when people send me stuff. So I ask permission. And this is none of this stuff. All this stuff, by the way, is just from training I've done. So you ask them the question, if I send you XYZ, would you watch it? If I would, you go read any Eric Worre book, watch any one of his trainings, and you will get those words. If I would, you. Okay. He says, earn your way to 7 figures with if I would, you. Okay. So if I sent you a video, would you watch it? If I sent you this information sheet, would you read it? And if they come back and say, sure, most people do. They say, okay, sure. Why not? Those types of answers. And then you say, awesome. Do you think you might watch it tonight or tomorrow? Or if you feel that's too pushy and that doesn't sound like you could say, listen, I'll check back with you in a couple days and see what your thoughts were on that. I can't wait to have a dialogue, conversation. Okay. But what you're doing is you're setting up the next appointment without them even knowing it. So if I would you send them the tool from your shareables, from YouTube, from wherever, and say that you're going to come back, circle back around, and you're going to message them in 48 hours or in 2 days, a couple days sounds real casual. Okay. That way you're setting up the next appointment. Then in 2 days, first of all, you take your phone, and if you've got an iPhone, you can say, Siri, remind me to message Jack in 2 days. And Siri will say, done. And you'll see it in your calendar. You get a little reminder on your phone. Oh, Jack, I got to follow up with Jack right now because I told Jack that I was going to do that in 2 days. You follow up with Jack and you say, hey, Jack, what did you think of the video? And if you get nothing, say, pick out something from the video that you thought was really cool. Okay. So maybe you sent them the compensation plan. Depends on what you were talking about. Maybe you've sent them the Plexus Slim video. Maybe you sent them the Journeys video where it's sort of an overview of the company. Then what you might want to say is something along the lines of, let's say it was the Journeys video off YouTube that you sent them. You could say, you know, what's really cool is the video that I sent you is not as current as our stats. I'd love to send you some additional stats. Would you like me to send those to you in document form? And if I sent those to you, would you take a read? Okay. So these are ways to continue. You're constantly inviting them to look at something and letting them know that you're going to follow up. And when, go to your phone and program it in your reminders. If you don't have an iPhone, if you have an iPhone, speak to it and tell it to remind you in 48 hours to follow up with Jack. Okay. And then you'll get a little buzz on your phone and you can follow up. It's very simple. We have so many things at our fingertips for us to be able to use. Start getting, I'm going to go back to it again. Getting out of the starting gate is what the problem is. And that's all here. The tools are at www.plexusworldwide.ca. They're on youtube.com. They're on our team page. We have a wealth of things. That's not what the issue is. That's not what the issue is. Julie, you were saying something. Go ahead.
I was just saying it's unbelievable what we have access to. Like if you're worried about the thinking, how am I going to ever, you're worried about the wrong thing. The only thing you have to figure out is how to get over your own self. Like seriously, because once you get over your own self, all the tools are right there for you. Right. And, you know, Tanya touched on, you know, if you're authentically engaging with that person, you're listening for whom they are, then you're going to find that right match. I posted last night about lean. 30 seconds in, my very, 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 very information seeking detail person who works for the food safety people in Canada, you know, like she was like all over that. And so I went right into the back office and I got the multi-page detailed document. Boom. She's going to order, right? Like it was the right match for her. I didn't send her a fluffy video. I didn't try to downplay it. I went right for the guts. She wants to know the details. Here they are. Boof. I'd never sent that document to my friend Deidre. She'd be like, what the hell did you send me that for? So don't worry about what am I going to say. Worry about getting over yourself and then just figure out who's that person, what are they going to respond to, and go get it. It's all there. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is. It's unbelievable. And how easy it is to share them. Do make sure when you send a shareable to somebody, click on it after you send it to them and make sure that it's connected because you do actually have to download it in order to share it. I don't know if you guys know that or not. So just make sure you click it's the little double link thingy. Just make sure you click that. I see there's some stuff going on in the chat. Yeah, Get Over Your Damn Self is a great book. MJ, when you and I were talking today, that was one of the books was Get Over Your Damn Self. Another one is You Are a Badass by Jill Sincero. I think that's how you say her last name. Great book. You can get these on Amazon. They're excellent. And I will type the other resources and things into the comment section of the training. But
I've seen an ad for her new book. It's Get Over Your, or You Are a Badass in Business, I think.
yes,
she's gonna be in Ontario. I saw it, been seeing it on Facebook, but
oh, neat.
yeah.
Oh, that'd be so cool to see her. That's awesome. But in order to get into action and stay in consistent action, and consistent action is what will make your business grow, not 3 people today and nobody for 3 weeks. Consistent action is what's going to make momentum, and momentum is what's going to push you right up over the hill. And then when you go down the other side, it's just going to be like, whee, and all these people are going to join you. That's how it works. But in order to get into consistent action, you have to talk to yourself and you have to say, self, I can do this. I am worthy of this. These people need what I have. My friends need these products. These products are life-changing. People do want to be in my business. People do want to do business with me. This company is legit. This company is a legacy company. This company is going to be here for years and years and years and years to come. This company is above board. We are blessed to have these products. These are the types of things you need to say to yourself. And you need to believe them. We all believe in the products. That's a no-brainer. Everybody on this call are longtime users of the product. What we need to do is make sure that we posture not just the products, the company, and the opportunity. Because I put this in my post this afternoon. Word for word, I could tell you the comp plan, okay? And I know for a fact, after looking at some other ones, how incredible it is. Like, to think that profit sharing is like one of many ways is just like mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. So do believe in this. Find ways to get your voice going the right way inside your head by pouring into yourself and allowing yourself that 15 minutes a day if that's what you've got. Okay. And if you need to do marathon personal development on Saturday sometime because your week was in the crapper, then do that. Anybody want to have anything to say? I don't know what time it is because my phone died. Oh, it is 9. Okay. Comments?
I was just going to say, when you were talking earlier about what to say when you have a phone call with somebody, one thing that I always do is I always pull out my catalog and my product cards and I kind of have them in front of me. And if there's something specific I'm not 100% on, I will usually reach out to you or Julie or somebody and just say, hey, I have this person. But yeah, I always make sure I kind of have it, because I find sometimes when you get in conversation, you draw a blank and stuff, but you just go, oh my gosh, they asked me a question. Like, I don't know. So I have the book in front of me and can flip through quickly, whether, like I said, the product cards, because they're big also. So it's just a little thing that I do.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Erica, because I forgot to mention that tool, our success kit. Our success kit is incredible. And that's okay. I got you, Erica. I got you. The success kit is incredible. And those product cards, they even give you posting ideas. You can like post stuff that's on them. Take a look at them. They're amazing. Any other questions, comments? Okay, so I will post this training on our team page. Make sure you check out the comments for the info that's going to be there. It'll be later this evening. I know that some of us are in the accountability group and we're going to stick around for the second half of the training. So if that's you, then you can stick around, and I hope the rest of y'all have a great night. See ya. So I'll join, maybe what I'll do is I'll join the accountability group here in 2 minutes. Okay. See ya.